Incident at a Funeral.
Ooh, stay tuned.
Oof.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Tim Fulton.
I'm Andy Smith.
And this is Dear Bros, a little segment where we ask each other, nope, that's incorrect.
We rip advice columns and we pretend that people wrote into us, and it's my turn to pick the column.
What do you got?
Incident at a Funeral. So, I actually am doing a new thing right now. I didn't read this. I saw the title, read the first sentence. I want to go into it blind.
Let's do it.
I hope it doesn't suck. Okay. Dear Abs, our dear mother recently passed away after an extended illness. We all knew this was inevitable, but it didn't make our loss any easier. My siblings and I were devastated, and we still are. The day of her funeral was especially hard. One of our older daughters brought her children, our granddaughters, 13 and 19 years old, to the funeral. While everyone else was dressed appropriately, one of our granddaughters wore tattered jeans with a loose top that exposed her belly. Ugh. When one of her uncles mentioned her attire, she snapped that we had better things to think about. I was very upset and wanted to yell at her to leave, but my grief overcame my anger. The whole time this granddaughter was there, she made sure everyone knew who she was. She made sure everyone knew she was. That she was the granddaughter. I burst into tears, but that didn't seem to bother her. Rather than allow the family to grieve, it was more important to her that nobody was going to tell her what to do. I wanted to tell her how we all felt about her attire and her attitude. I don't want to ruin my relationship with her, but honestly, if another family member passes, none of us want to deal with her attitude while we're grieving. How do I tell her how disrespectful she was, and at the same time was not for her, it was for us as a family to grieve. Still sad in the East. Yeah.
That's a little bit on the unfortunate side. Just a smidgen.
She's 19. I'm assuming it was the 19-year-old and not the 13.
I'm going to go ahead and assume it was the 19-year-old.
Yeah, it sounds like she needs to get a foot in her ass.
What I was about to say, whatever happened, sorry everyone out there, whatever happened to hitting your fucking kids?
Yeah.
Like, if I did something like that, granted, if you
wore a belly shirt, there'd be other questions at the funeral.
No, are you kidding? My family would be like, yeah, that makes sense. Not the time to come out, Tim. Not the time.
One goes in, one comes out. It's the way that it works. Sorry.
Grandpa's dead. I'm going to let my freak flag fly.
Now I can.
Can't yell at me now, old man. No. Okay, wow. Oh, God.
I'm glad I picked this.
This is fucking terrible. No, so other than hitting your kid, some people are just selfish cunts.
Yeah.
It's a hard reality. There's two unfortunate things about this, in my opinion, and you can agree or disagree. One, you can't, if she's 19 years old and she has this it's all about me attitude, which clearly she does, then you really can't change people like that. You can, like, talk to them as much as you want to, but people have this weird thing where they don't want to change their core behavior. Unless, like, she has to figure out for herself in an unfortunate way.
Extreme measures.
Yeah.
To change extreme personalities.
Exactly. And the second unfortunate thing is it's both not your responsibility, nor do you have control over it as the grandparent. The people who should be worried about this are her parents, your daughter. So if you're going to do anything, in my opinion, you get a hold of your daughter, box her ear to the wall, say, this is what you do, get your daughter under friggin' control. Yeah. Because that was, and I would also say, don't make it about you, make it about her. Be like, we were offended and it made us sad, it made us this, that, the other, mad, blah, 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 blah. But
it's disrespectful.
Yeah, she's a problem. Clearly she's a problem. Someone who acts like that at a funeral, clearly that's a problem.
Yeah, she reminds me of those those kids that like take selfies with their grandparents in the hospital.
Yeah.
When they're like in hospice, and it's like, it's all about like, oh, I got so many likes because my grandma's dying.
Look how sad I am. Like, share, and follow.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
You piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Belly shirts at a funeral. No. I mean, I'm one of the people who usually gets told I'm underdressed for things, but I don't wear a belly shirt to a funeral. Like,
What would be the dude equivalent? A tank top?
a cutoff sleeve or a tank top. It would have to.
Yeah,
be.
it would have to be.
Yeah.
Guys have less options, so that's like the only real thing.
Yeah,
that
but I'm
comes
trying to
mind.
think about like where you would wear a belly shirt. You would wear a belly shirt to the beach when it's warm. All those things. So
Yeah.
if you're gonna wear a belly shirt, the only dude equivalent is to show off your arms because dudes don't show off their bellies.
Yeah.
So yeah, you wear like a tank top to a funeral.
Yeah.
That guy would be escorted out the door
Yeah.
with his head. I mean, good for the uncle for saying something.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. I mean, man, what would you do?
I genuinely don't know. I remember my grandfather's funeral, which is the only funeral it was the first funeral I had ever been to, and just nothing like that occurs in my family.
No.
Like,
Well, most families, I don't think it does.
no,
As far as that, you
Yeah.
might have a little bickering or something because people can't fucking put their shit away, but not like showing up. You know.
disrespectful like that.
And here's the thing, like, there's like this weird rule, like women have like multiple things to wear to
Yeah.
funerals, like a dress. You could wear like black whatever. There's a bunch of different things, but there's like it's the eye test, right? That's acceptable. That's not acceptable. Guys have like a range where you can do like a suit and a tie, you can do a dress shirt and pants, you can do khakis and a button down, or and I think that relates to your relationship with the person or the reason why you're there.
I agree.
And I think that part of that also comes down to like it's a visual of knowing how close you are to the person.
Yeah.
Like I tend to always wear suits to funerals out of habit,
Yeah.
but when people show up in like khakis and a button down, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're basically saying like I'm wearing something I don't normally wear because this is an occasion that calls for it.
Yeah.
You're not wearing shit that you wear to fucking,
The beach.
your girlfriend's house before you go out to do shots.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the other thing I want to mention real fast is obviously you're in the right for being upset, for being angry, and all those things. But this girl is clearly just looking for attention, right? I think we can agree upon that. So she won. You don't want the day to be about her because you clearly don't want the day to be about her because it's about being sad. It's about your father or parent. Who was it?
Her mother.
Her mother. It's about your mother, but you allowed yourself. And I know it's hard to like fight like that instinctual, emotional, gut wrench feeling.
Yeah.
But you allowed it to be about her. Not just
It's hard to not, but here's the thing though. That is one of those situations where it's so off out of the box
Yeah.
that it's hard to not think about that when it's right in front of your face.
Yeah, I know.
And then on top of it, she's making even more of a scene by like getting all, I wear whatever the fuck I want to wear. Like that attitude.
I smoke, I drink, I do drugs.
Yeah, I do what I want.
Catch me outside.
Yeah, cash me outside. So I would just not invite her to shit.
Yeah.
To tell your daughter, like, if she pulls this shit,
She's
if
out.
she's gonna wear this stuff
She's
or
out.
act like this, I don't want her in my house
Yeah, I agree.
until until the family gets an apology for her behavior. And this is the hard part.
You have to stick to your guns.
This is okay. So this is something. This raises an interesting side topic.
Okay, shoot.
Parents back in the day, and I say back in the day, meaning like our parents' parents,
Okay.
they seem to have a way better ability to apply tough love
Yeah.
and not cross the lines with like, like it was accepted, like socially and like, no, if I don't do this, you're going to be a shithead.
Yeah.
And like, I don't care if you're sad. It's not about that. I'm not your fucking friend. I'm your parent. And if I don't do this, you're going to be a shithead. So like, if you do that, you're getting one of these or you're getting whatever. It's almost like now, like there's this weird like softening of the like, we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or we don't want to do whatever. And I get it. But like, I feel like this is one of those situations where back in the day, it would have been a very simple, like everyone would have just acknowledged that you need to leave.
Yeah.
And you need to go put something appropriate on.
It would have been resolved.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. It would have been resolved.
Yeah. But like as a group,
Yeah.
like as a group of like, hey, no, this is not what you do. And everyone would have been like, there would have been no like, hey, you don't say that. She will whatever she wants to a funeral. Like, no. Go put some shit on or don't fucking come in here.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Like, do we really have to have like it's a club, like attire rules? Like no hats, no long hoodies, you know, no baggy clothes.
A dress code.
Yeah.
No. We shouldn't have to do that. It should be fucking common knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah. And she knows what she's doing.
Yeah. If you're wearing a belly shirt,
You know what you're doing.
right? I
You
feel
know-
like you do.
You know what you're doing. Even if you've never been to a funeral or a wake in your entire goddamn life, there's this thing out there called television. You've seen it before. You know how they're supposed to go. You just do.
You know what these things should be? They should submit these to like polls, like on Family Feud or whatever, and just ask: is a belly shirt acceptable attire for a funeral? I feel like it would be 100% no,
Correct.
right?
Yeah. I can't imagine.
When you phrase it like that, when you ask like, well, you know, it's like, would you wear a belly shirt to a funeral? No.
No.
Well, then you don't think it's appropriate.
Yes, that's correct. All right, let's see what Abby has to say.
Okay, yeah. Dear Still Sad, your granddaughter's behavior at her great-grandmother's funeral was atrocious. Atrocious, like my speaking ability. It was worse than her attire. The people who should explain proper attire at a funeral etiquette are her parents, not you. Discuss this with them when you can do it calmly, since you and your siblings are still in pain and your emotions are raw.
I agree with all of that, to
Yep.
be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And she has a point that I didn't think about. I'm assuming 19-year-old kid, yeah, that's technically an adult, but at 19, you're probably still going around with your parents. She probably still lives at home.
Yeah.
I'm making educated guesses here. And she probably showed up with her parents. That means the parents looked at her, saw that she was getting ready to go to a funeral with the belly shirt, and said to themselves, we don't want to have this fight. We're just going to go. We're going to allow it.
They should have not taken her.
Exactly.
And here's the thing.
That's another problem in and of itself.
As mad as, like, because it's the mom's grandmother,
Yes.
I feel like the mom should have been the one to say, you are not showing up like that.
Yep.
If you don't want to change, that's fine. You can stay home.
Yep.
You're an adult. You stay home. I will explain to everyone if they ask why you're not here.
Yes.
And then if that was happening, the dad should have 100% backed her up and been like, you are not going to a fucking funeral in a belly shirt.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
Wow, we're in full agreement about everything.
we actually
that's pretty-
solved the answer to a question we've never, I don't know if anyone's ever even asked that. Is it acceptable to wear a belly shirt to a funeral? The answer is no. I
No.
feel very confident in saying that that's a pretty good, like, it's almost like I don't want to say it's like a law, like a math law, but it's like almost a math law. It's one of those like, law of science, but with like one or two exceptions, like the I before E, except that.
It's one of those things everyone understood, but we never defined, like gravity. Everyone knew gravity until an apple hit Newton's head, and then he suddenly like, gravity's a thing, and everyone's mind was blown.
He's like, what is it though? And he's like, we
Same
just
thing.
found out.
Same thing. Everyone just knew no belly shirts to a funeral, and then someone wore a belly shirt to the funeral, and they're like, you know what? It's a rule. It's a rule.
You know what? This is another. We were talking about a subject before, and this is another one of those things where culturally, as a country, it should be just accepted that belly shirts don't go at funerals.
Agreed.
The fact that we now have to write it down and enforce it, if like that's how it is. Like it's that stupid where you're like, don't belly shirts. Okay, I guess we can make it a law. People don't know this shit. Like, what the fuck?
What the?
Yeah, what the fuck? Apparently not.
Apparently not.
Bet you she went to public school.
Bet you she was homeschooled. All right, guys, let us know what you think about this story in the comment section down below. I have a new question for you. What is the minimum requirement, attire-wise, that you need to wear at a funeral? Like, what do you think you could get away with without people looking at you being like, this scumbag? Let me know in the comment section. Don't forget to go to brodownpro.com. We sell all sorts of cool shit, including dinosaur t-shirts. Yeah, you know you want some.
And not what I'm wearing all the time, every day.
Oh, surprise, a white blank t-shirt. Oh.
A white V-neck.
Yeah.
So different.
We'll catch you guys next time.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking